Hey there, Aries, and welcome to your week of February 28th, 2022 general tarot reading. How's everything going? I hope it's all going good. Let's get into your reading here, though, and see what we got coming in for your energy this week. We got the 10 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, and the Star. That's fantastic. I like this. This is a real good energy. I feel like you have a real commitment for your goals here, for sure, right? The 10 of Pentacles is sort of like a legacy being left behind, or a big time financial material world bonus for you, something that's really very, very good for you. With the Star here, when you wish upon a star, this is your wishes, your dreams coming true. So I feel like that's really great for you as well. I feel like this is something you're really working towards, because we have that 7 of Wands here, and that represents defending your position. So I feel like you're really holding true to your values, really holding true to what you want to see happen in this world, and you're trying to make that happen for sure, which is really beautiful here. I love that. It's a fantastic energy. I like it's really determined, I feel, for you this week, Aries. With the Star here, this is Aquarius's card, so you may have Aquarius in your chart, and if you do, let me know down below, because that means you're coming in a strong way, Aries, right? Whenever you pop up in your own reading. So let's look at some clarifiers, see if we can get a little more detail on this situation. Aside from you just being real determined and working towards your dreams here, let's see what else we can figure out about your energy here. What do we have for our Aries? We got the 6 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, I don't love it, and the Queen of Swords as well. Look at that. That Queen of Swords is nice too, because like Aries is an air sign, swords represent the air signs, so that's really looking good too. Aries, Aquarius represents the Aquarius is an air sign, and the Queen of Swords represents them. So you know, so that's looking really good. So again, if you're have Aquarius in your chart, you're looking really good. Again, really strong here. Even if you're not, this is a good, strong energy anyway, because that Queen of Swords is a very mature energy. She doesn't take no BS off of anyone. She's very honest with people. She expects the same in return, right? I'm going to be truthful and upfront with you. You better be doing the same for me. So that's looking great. I love that. With the 6 of Swords here as well, maybe even in a rocky position, you're like, no more. This is where the buck stops. We're heading for the calm waters. I want the good stuff, and I want it now, which is beautiful. I love that. I love that you're working your way into a peaceful, you know, tranquil situation here where you can be at rest and you can do what you want to do. And with that 8 of Pentacles, that's that hard work. The 8 of Pentacles, we're talking about determination. The 8 of Pentacles talks about putting in the time, putting in the effort, you know, practice makes perfect, all that beautiful stuff. So that's looking awesome, Aries. Let's take a look at some challenges you might be facing though this week. See what's happening there. See if we're getting anything trying to rain on your parade here, Aries. What do we have? We got the King of Cups now, the Moon, and the 3 of Swords here. Interesting. Yeah, there's definitely some emotional energy here, some something that you're kind of holding on to, I feel, because I feel like you think you're going to need it in the future here, because the Moon represents sort of partial illumination. Like we can't see all ends, of course, right? The 3 of Swords representing things that we need to remove from our lives that are no longer serving us. And the King of Cups, when he comes up in your challenges, the King of Cups normally is very, kind of like emotionally balanced. He doesn't get worked up about things. If things are going bad for him, he's just like, okay, whatever. We're just going to work through this. He doesn't like overreact here. But it feels like you're really putting too much emphasis on something that you really should maybe get rid of. That's maybe not helping you out. Like, honestly, like we're going back here at that Queen of Swords, like this sort of honest, open look at things here. And maybe you're not, maybe there's something you're kind of turning an intentional blind eye to here at this time, because you think it's going to help you in the future. You think like, oh, this is going to be great, but it's really not. Like, it's really something that you're putting too much value on, or too much sentiment in it, right? Because the 3 of Swords, I always say it's this writing term. It's called killing your darlings. When something you really like is into a novel or a story, but what it's actually doing is actually like slowing down the pacing, and it's not serving the purpose of like character development or anything like that. It's just something fun you wanted to see for yourself, but it's not actually doing anything here. So that feels like maybe that's what's going on here. There's something here that you really like, but it's just not clicking. It's not helping us out. So let's look at some clarifiers for your challenges. See if we can get any more detail on that as well. All right, Aries, what do we got here for you? We got that King of Cups repeating for sure. And that we got the Two of Cups here and the Three of Swords repeating too. Interestingly enough, they both landed on each other, so they kind of clarifying that here. Very interesting. Okay, yeah, there's definitely a choice here you're being faced with, and I feel like you really need to make a decision about this, because that King of Cups and the Three of Swords, when cards repeat in tarot, if you're new to tarot, that really tells us that you got to pay attention to this message, right? You got to pay attention to what the cards are saying here. And with that King of Cups and the Three of Swords, it's really saying, yeah, you're putting a little too much emphasis on something. Like there's something you definitely feel like this is way too important for you, or this is something that like you feel like this is like you can't live without this or something. You feel like this has got to be it. This has got to be the thing, right? You got to keep this. You can't get rid of it. How could you get rid of it? This has been with you for so long, or something like that. And with this Two of Cups here, it's kind of saying like you're going to have to make a choice here eventually, right? Like right now you're not choosing to do anything. Like you're choosing to keep it at the moment, but I feel like you're reaching a tipping point here for sure, where it's like we may be having to get rid of something here. Or maybe you're going to keep it, it's up to you, right? You live your life how you want to live your life. This doesn't say, this isn't you locked in stone, right? This isn't written in the stars. This is fluid, baby. So let's look at some potential outcome cards here for you, Aries. All right, let's see what we got. Before we do, thank you so much for being here. If you want to help the channel out, you give me a boop down below. Hit that like button, helps out a ton. You can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That way you can find me easier by checking out your subscriptions on the side there bar where it is, and then you can come here every week and see what I got cooking up for you here. All right, so let's look what we got for your outcome cards. You got the Two of Wands, the King of Wands, and now the Queen of Cups here. So that's interesting with the Queen of Cups now showing up, because the Two of Cups can represent a relationship. It can represent sort of a soulmate type connection, right? So with the King and Queen of Cups here, this could be saying you might be putting too much emphasis on a relationship you're in, whether it's romantic or not. It could be anything, right? Maybe you're involved with someone, or maybe you're not. Maybe it's just a connection. You have a strong connection with someone, and maybe this connection is doing more harm than good, really. Or maybe this just isn't going anywhere, or something like that. You're putting a little too much emphasis on it, because we got those counterparts, the King and Queen of Cups here. So that's interesting. I feel like that's only for some people, though. I feel like overall we're looking at a lot of energy of like we're moving into stability, we're moving into maturity. I feel like you're really like maturing up here. Like we have here in this reading, we've got 2 queens and 3 kings here. So there's this real mature sense about things. There's definitely like this air of maturity, and we've got definitely more mature energy outside of the challenges. So your energy, your outcomes are definitely mature. So I feel like that's going to be something you're going to have to pay attention for sure. You're going to have to take responsibility for your actions, accountability, all that good stuff, and really realize what kind of a person you want to be, like when it comes to using power, right? Using your power, right? Not necessarily, when I say that, like I say when you use power, like you might be thinking, I don't have power over nothing, Charles, but no, that's not the case, Aries. You have power over yourself. You always have power over yourself. You have power over lots of things in your life. You may feel like you're powerless. You may feel like things are out of your control, but you do have power over things. You always make choices and such in your life here. So I feel like you have to just kind of decide here, what kind of a ruler are you going to be? I feel like it's best to lean into your intuition with that Queen of Cups. It's best to lean into kind of trusting your instincts for sure. With that King of Wands, I feel like you need to trust on your passions and your desires and the things that you really want in your life as well. So using those two to kind of help you get to stability here with that Two of Wands. So I feel like that's really what we're trying to work towards here. So let's look at your outcome clarifiers, and then we're going to tie everything off with an oracle message for you here at the end of the reading. Send you home happy, hopefully. So let's take a look and see what we got for you, Aries. All right. The King of Wands too, Aries, that represents you, as it does represent the fire signs, so Leo, Sagittarius, and Leo, Sagittarius, and yourself, Aries, jumping Jehoshaphat. So here we go, the Lovers now. So yeah, definitely for, like, we were talking about that potential relationship energy with people here. That is coming up again with the lovers here. So again, lovers represent love. They represent soulmate connections. So again, I feel like for a lot of you out there, it is kind of like a relationship, like not necessarily a romantic one, not for everybody, but I feel like for a lot of you, it is a romantic relationship where I feel like there is, maybe for some of you, it feels like this connection is like definitely something you want to keep around for something, because you feel like this person's the one. And if they, and this, like, again, I'm not saying like you have to break up with this person. You don't have to break up with this person. You want to be there because you feel like you have that genuine connection with them. You absolutely can, because we have the Five of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles here, both of which represent growth, both of which represent self-improvement, both represent growing something beautiful here. The Queen of Pentacles represents, working and nurturing and growing something of value, growing something beautiful here, making sure everyone's taken care of here. So again, I feel like that with the lovers means you could nurture this relationship and grow it into that thing you believe it is, if you want. But with the Five of Wands, it's also self-improvement. So I feel like that starts with you. You got to work on yourself first to make that improvement there and kind of, lead by example, so to speak. So I think that is there for a lot of you, for everyone really, if you want it. But also the Five of Wands can be a card of conflict too. It can be rivalries. It can be people combating with each other, this sort of chaotic nature. What is going on here with these people sort of stick fighting with each other. So I feel like for you as well, this might be a situation too where if you're at kind of ends with this person all the time, yeah, maybe it's time to cut them out, right? Like if you feel like there isn't that conflict there, you guys don't fight and argue all the time, or you're not constantly at each other's or at ends with each other, then yeah, maybe grow this, work on yourself a bit and try to grow this relationship into something beautiful. But if it's not, right, if it's not working out for you, then that way you feel like you're constantly at war with this person, or you feel like, there's always this tension or something, maybe it's time to cut the cord, right? So let's take a look at your oracle message, wrap everything up for you here, Aries. Oh, we got cards flying everywhere here, but let's take a look. Hope this is helping you out. Hope this has been resonating with you, and let's see what we got. All right, for you, that's that card. I don't know if you caught it on camera or not, but that was the card that tried to fly out there. So the Yang card, number 1. Remember, you got to always be looking out for number 1 too, so keep that in mind. All right, let's see here. What do we got for the Yang card? Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward, and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There's no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your destiny now. And guess what? We were talking about that. We're saying, like, you can go either way you want here. Nothing is set in stone. You want to nurture this, you want to grow it, go for it. You want to cut the cord, go for it. You want to, see how this plays out and just kind of keep on keeping on. Absolutely do what you want to do. It's your destiny. So hope that helped you out, and I'll see you next time, Aries.